Hello, welcome back. And I just saw the new Star Trek movie over the weekend. So I will do a little review of that movie and try not to have any spoilers in it. But before I review that movie, I want to talk a little bit about Star Trek. I discovered Star Trek about the same time I discovered American comic books in '81. And I have to say that if there was any show on TV that I wanted to watch between '81 and '82 would be Star Trek. Um, for whatever reason, maybe the geek in me that enjoys sci-fi and science fiction and comic books, even when I didn't understand what the heck was going on, I enjoy watching the show. So by 1982, after living in the U.S. for about 2 years, my English has improved to a point where I felt comfortable going to the movie. I still don't understand everything, but at the same time, I don't feel it was a waste of money and time to go there and have no clue what's going on. And Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, happened to come out in '82, and that was my first experience at the movie. And I can tell you it was one of the most exciting time I had at the movie theater that I can remember. And the best thing about Star Trek Wrath of Khan for me was almost similar to my exposure to Iron Man and American comic book. You know, basically a blank slate. I approached the movie with very little understanding of the Star Trek universe, with very little understanding of the characters. So, I went into it with basically no preconceived expectation of anything. And I can say that even though I don't understand everything in that movie, I love that movie. I think that movie was fantastic. I love it. And if I had to rank all the Star Trek movie, I would put Star Trek Wrath of Khan as my all-time favorite Star Trek movie above everything else. I don't think I can rank 2 to 10, whatever, but for sure, number 1 is Wrath of Khan. That movie held a special spot in my heart. And at the end of the movie, near the end of the movie, I actually had little tears coming down because Spock died. So in hindsight, I remember those emotions was very real. I was very drawn into his character. I felt sad for the sacrifice that he made, and the naive me watched that movie with my friend. Didn't fully grasp the story yet to understand that they was gonna bring him back. I remember walking out of the movie theater, and my buddy that went with me saw that I was really upset, and he said, "Dude, what are you crying about? They're gonna bring him back next movie. Don't you get it? They shot him into the planet with the Genesis thing, and he will come back." And I was dumbfounded that that's what his conclusion was back then, but thankfully that's what happened. And I was pleased to see that they brought back Spock. So for this movie, I have to say that I'm a big fan of J.J. Abrams. I did enjoy the last movie that he made. I thought the reboot was done very well. Like any movies, there's plenty of holes and flaws, but I think you know, I'm one of those people that when I go see a movie, I am okay of letting some silly stuff slide by. I don't sit there and nitpick every scene, every situation, and say, "Oh, that's stupid." That's just about every movie I saw, especially science fiction, have all kind of holes in it. So, um, you know, it's no point on sitting and analyzing the movie to death of all the flaws and mistakes that's in the movie. So overall, um, I was very excited to see the trailers and teaser for the new Star Trek, and I made a point of not reading much of any reviews or teaser or spoilers online leading up to the movie, so I didn't want to know. I prefer to just enjoy the movie, and I am glad that I was surprised at the movie. Star Trek Into Darkness is really good. I enjoyed it. I felt, I think some of the complaint that I read since I saw the movie over the weekend has been, how they recycle some of the lines and some of the lines are dated and the story is not original enough. And what I like about the movie is I like how it tried to weave the current state of the world as if this is like 20, 30 years ago. So you gotta understand, when the Wrath of Khan, the original movie, came out, what the state of the Klingons was with the Federation, as well as what was going on in the world back then. So for this movie, operating in an alternate timeline, things happen in the movie basically took place, like it was, say, 20, 30 years ago, in the same timeline, how the Federation and the Klingon are starting to butt heads. And so I think it was very clever how they weave in the past into the current, if that makes any sense. And I enjoyed it. I have no problem at all with all of the lines that was recycled. I thought it was appropriate. I thought I had a good laugh. I thought the villain was great. I saw some review after I watched the movie that some people didn't like the villain, and I'm surprised because I felt that the villain was great. He was a badass, but he was just not pure evil. There are some emotion to him, and I thought the actor that played the villain did a fantastic job. I mean, I like him. Since I can't go into any spoilers, I had to say that if you go, I hope you agree with some of the things I said about the actor that played the villain. And as far as the rest of the cast, I think the cast was great from the very first reboot. So I think nothing surprised me. Perhaps the only slight surprise is I felt Kirk and Spock role was a bit more emotionally demanding, and that was great. I thought there's a lot of scenes between the two of them that I thought was very memorable and very good. If I had to give it a ranking, I like it just as much as the first reboot 4 years ago. Like I said before, I don't think I can rank all the Star Trek movie after the Wrath of Khan. It wouldn't be fair, but I would give this movie a 3 out of 4. I think it's good. It's definitely worth seeing. I didn't bother with the 3D stuff. I refused to pay $12 or $14 to see IMAX 3D nonsense. 2D is just fine, and it was fun. I left the movie feeling satisfied. So and that's it. I don't think I can go on with the further review of this movie without spoiling anything for other people. So, I prefer not to spoil it for anyone that watch this video that really want to see the movie. But go see it. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Well, hopefully it will meet your expectation, not pleasantly surprised. Okay? Thanks for watching.